Hi there, Stampin' friends. Here's a make and take project for March 2017. We use these to make little prayer boxes. I picked up these heart-shaped boxes. They're just cardboard boxes. I mixed acrylic paint, just plain white acrylic paint, and several drops of the sugar plum inker together, and then once that was mixed thoroughly, I painted them and let them sit and dry. The focal point today is what I'm going to teach you how to make is this succulent right here, using the Succulent Framelits. I also used the Be Still I've Got This Signed God from the Sending Thoughts creation, or stamp set. So to begin with, I want to show you here what I'm stamping on too. I made these for all my stamping girls. I just picked up fun foam and I applied them to a clipboard like this. And then I took a sheet of black and put it on the back side. So they just have a little cushion. They each have their own clipboard, personalized with their name on it. With the little shrinky dinks that I used and the jar of love framelits. So I put this piece of paper over it to protect it. I'm going to start here by showing you that all of these framelits, the 6 layers that you need to create this succulent, all fit on a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock. This one's a little bit wider than 4 1/4. And sometimes you can get this piece in and sometimes you can't. It depends on where they all fall. So basically what I'm going to show you is how I started this. I'm going to bring in another piece of scrap paper. I use the white craft ink and a sponge dauber, and I just go over all these petals, and you can either rub or you can tap. Actually, when you do this, kind of gives a lot of different texture to it. So it's entirely up to you. I did that to all the pieces, and then I just let them set and dry. Sometimes I just make a bunch of them and then let them set overnight after I've inked them. I already have a set here that are all cut and inked and dried. And the reason I recommend letting these dry is because if you don't, there's a good chance that you're going to pick up that white craft ink and put it into your colored inks. So the first color I laid down was Mint Macaron. And I just grab my sponge dauber and the color. The centers aren't going to show a lot when you layer these up, so you don't have to be too concerned with the center here. So on all these pieces, I'm just going to tap this Mint Macaron ink into it. And you can do variations. Darker spots really adds a lot of character. You don't want every petal to be the same, because that's not the way creation works. Everything is just a little bit different. You want to make sure you leave some of the white on the tips. Now here's one that the little piece of that petal got cut off. I'm not concerned about that. Oops. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the green here and dab this. I want some of that white and some of that gray showing through. So this is all on Smokey Slate cardstock. The next layer of ink I'm going to add is going to be Sweet Sugar Plum. And there I'm just going to go around the edges. Some of them going down a little bit further on the petal, some just along the edge. And do this for every single petal. The smaller flowers, these smaller dies, if you hold them in the center, it kind of gives you a little more control so that they don't break on you or rip. Okay, just continue through all the petals on all 6 of the flowers. A lot of these succulents I've seen have been made out of just colored cardstock. Like, for example, this one, they might have started with the mint macaron cardstock. I find that when I do this, that just doing it in that light gray, I've also used this Sahara sand, and then sponging it with that white just does something you can't get on the regular, if you used colored cardstock, like the mint macaron. The next color I'm going to use is going to be Rich Raspberry. And this is just going to be for the tips. The very, very tips. And you don't think that that one extra color is going to add a lot of detail, but it really does. Okay. Continue this through all of them. I didn't put any on those little, on these little pieces. I left those just green. Green and gray and white. Sometimes I even just take the sponge dauber and just poke that petal into the sponge dauber to add the color. Okay, we're getting close to having them all done. Okay, one more. And here you can kind of see the difference it makes just to put that little bit of raspberry on the end. Rich Raspberry, that's what it is. Okay, we're done sponging. Now I'm going to take a embossing mat that I have. There again, you could use your paper piercing pad. I just think this one is a little bit more giving. And then just on each petal, on these three larger ones especially, you're going to go around in this cupping motion. Press down with something round to bring those petals together. And then go around in the center. And that's going to bring it into a cupping motion. These just, it doesn't take nearly as much to get those to come together. Continue going around in a circle and cupping that flower up, drawing it toward that petal, each petal, and drawing it toward the center. This just helps give the flower a much more realistic appearance. Okay, now I have an aqua painter here from Stampin' Up. I'm just going to show you too how you could just use that. Okay, now we have all the pieces together. Now I'm going to bring in my silicone craft sheet and my Tombow glue. And I'm going to start, you start with the largest flower and layer to, start with the largest and layer down to the smallest. Layer up to the smallest? I don't know. Okay, and the next layer, offsetting the petals so that they don't line up here. And then with the center one here, what I did was, and I turned this over so the color side's down, and I want to bring this up into a ball here. and I'm going to show you how I did the centers on mine. Pearls look pretty in the center. Some of these flowers I've seen made don't have anything in the center. The rimmed pearls, even the rhinestones would work. But I just take the end of a Q-tip and I pick up the color like this, and you just really need it on the tip there. Then I take a pair of old craft scissors and I just cut the end off there. I'm going to take my Tombow glue, add a drip in the middle. And I'm going to take this Q-tip tip and I'm going to bring up a petal on the side, on each side, like so. Okay? Then you'll see I have 3 over here and 3 over here. So I'm going to bring the center one up here. And the center one up here. Now I have those 4. Then I'm just going to bring those up one at a time. And I'm going to bring that together, kind of pinch that, roll it, keep that bottom flat up against that Q-tip. Then I'm going to set this in here on top of a dotted Tombow. Okay, I see I have one petal that doesn't want to come up. Oop, I must have missed getting glue on that. Okay, so there we have that part. Now what I did was I took some alcohol, actually it's mixed with rubbing alcohol mixed with some shimmer paint that I had, but I'm just going to spray this. I think getting these wet just makes one more step of making it a little more realistic. And I'm going to bring it up into a, cup it up into a ball. And then I'm just going to separate it. The bottom petals are a little flatter. Let's see, pull this away. And then just shape them up. You can take your paper piercer or whatever other tool you have and bring these up like this and fluff them. And then we just set this on top of a doily, a piece of doily on top of the box, and added a couple trendles, these little things under it. They're also succulents. Under it like that. And that was how we completed the box top. So I just want to show you one other thing that I've created using the same type of flowers. Everything's rolling underneath me here. I created this card in the same exact way I just showed you how I made them with the Smokey Slate, sponged them in the white, then added the mint macaron and then the sugar plum. I made this card. It's an easel card and it will open back up like this. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.